I'm Deborah Borchardt with your midday market update. Well, the sellers are back. All the indices are in the red territory, and I'm joined by Jon Corpina of Meridian Equity Partners. So, Jon, it seemed like when we started out this morning with the futures that we were going into green territory, that we were looking positive. And then, the selling came back, and here we are. Looks like we're going to close out the month on a down note, and really have the one of the first bad months in a long time.
Right, so we kind of have to put everything into perspective. I think things could have been a lot worse heading into the end of this month and heading into the end of this quarter. If you look back at the trading activity we've seen over the past week or so, and the last 2-3 trading sessions have really helped bring this market a little more clarity back to this market, and I think people feel a little bit better now that the market has gained the percentage points that we have in the last few sessions. Economic data this morning still showing us that we're not moving at the pace that we need to move at. So I think investors now, for today, are just taking some very short-term profits off the table from earlier this week. We are at the end of the month, end of the quarter. We've got a very large Russell rebalance happening at the end of the day today. That can kind of throw a little volatility into our markets. So I think there are two traders that are out there today. Ones who are going to stay here all day and wait to see how the Russell is going to affect our market. And two is the traders who are saying, you know what, I don't want to get into that volatility towards the end of the day. Let me close out positions now before we head into the weekend and into the holiday week next week.
Right, well, you brought up a good point. We do have a shortened week next week with the holiday, and it's midweek, so that makes it even a little bit crazier. And one would expect the volume's going to be light next week, too.
Absolutely. We have a half day. We've got a full day off. I was actually kind of quite surprised to see my trains this morning were not as packed as they normally are. The parking lots, the subways. I would have thought today, being the end of the month and end of the quarter, that we would have seen a little bit more activity so far. It seems like people are starting to get the holiday vacation in early. But next week, I don't expect a lot. Not a big economic calendar that's out there. I don't think we're going to see anything of planned headlines. A couple of things might come up that's unannounced. But other than that, I think people really want to shore up their positions now before getting into next week, because next week is going to be kind of a snoozer.
All right, well, it sounds like, as Jon said, the participants here are the people that are just selling and getting ready for the holiday, or the people that are waiting for that Russell rebalancing. That's Jon Corpina from Meridian, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.